Hello everybody, it's Michelle with Michelle's Whimsy and Bling, and today I am going to be doing my absolute favorite card design layout. Oh my gosh, it's called a One Sheet Wonder, or OSW. And again, it is like my favorite design because I'm originally a quilter. That's where my foray into crafts started. So cutting up all these pieces and putting them back together, it just reminds me of making a quilt. Here are some of the samples that I made using the, I can't remember the name, the Bright and Beautiful 6x6 designer series paper, and I also brought in the ladybug punch and some sentiments. Just so bright and colorful here, just so pretty. I really enjoyed making these. And then these were using the inked and tiled stamp set along with the coordinating punch. It is a different One Sheet Wonder cutting direction. So, I mean, they are different, but oh my gosh, they're so pretty. And it's just so easy. When I'm struggling to find a card design that I want to use or coming up with one, then I fall back on my One Sheet Wonders. And so today we're going to use Irresistible Blooms, and which is the stamp set, and the coordinating paper is called Hello Irresistible, also in 6x6. And I've made some samples. I kind of did them late at night, and I haven't even added any bling to them, so they're not quite finished. And this one, I don't know if I've ever stamped on our DSP, our designer series paper, so that was like a first for me. I'll be honest with you, these are okay. There are some like that I'm not overly happy with. I'm like, what were you thinking, girl? You might want to go back and redo that one. So I tried to bring in elements from the actual stamp set, and I love splatters. I mean, if there's a stamp set that has splatters in it, I'm like, yay, score. So again, these are not the greatest, but you know, I still think that they're okay cards. I've already chosen out the two pieces of designer series paper that we're going to use. This one, which has some pretty peacock and Lost Lagoon in it, and I think a little bit of Daffodil Delight in there. And same thing, I mean, look, check out the splatter. I mean, is that not gorgeous? And then this, as part of the stamp set and dies, there is a coordinating die that goes with that, because it doesn't cut necessarily out the paper, but you can have that look. And then this is just so pretty. So the goal is to get two pieces of 6x6 paper that coordinate together. See, those sides go good together, this goes good together, and that. See, so they all coordinate together. So now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, I'm having my little cheat sheet over here. We're going to go ahead and cut up our 6x6 pieces of paper. And we're going to hopefully do it correctly. So, yes, this is a directional, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. However, I think for cutting it, I want this one on top so that my eyes don't go crazy. All right, so our first cut, this, remember, is 6x6 paper. Our first cut is going to be at the 2-inch mark. And then we're going to take this piece, we're going to rotate it, and we are going to cut it at the 3 1/4 mark. I'll be honest with you, I probably found these cutting instructions somewhere online, and it escapes me at the moment of where. Now this piece should be 4 inches, and it is, so we want to turn it and cut down 4 inches. And then what I want to do here, you can do a wonky cut where it's not diagonal to diagonal, but for me, I like the diagonal. I know it's not as whimsy. Now, my one tip is doesn't matter how big or small the piece is, when you are cutting on the diagonal, hold your piece as secure as you can. Once you've gotten it into the groove lines, bring your arm down, but put your cutting blade in the middle of the paper. Go down, go up. That way you will not crinkle the corners. Ask me how. I know I've dealt with some crinkled corners. So this piece, we're going to go ahead and cut out 1.5, and then that's going to leave us with a little half a piece. Now the balloon birthday cards, the really bright ones, I think this was used, I was using this particular one sheet wonder cutting layout for that card, for those cards. So, but when I made the samples of these, I did not. So we're gonna have a little bit of let's play, because we don't know what we're doing kind of a thing. I need one last thing, and forgive my messy paper, it's just what it is. So what I like to do, and actually I don't want that quite yet, what I like to do is just take my coordinating cardstock, and this is in Pretty Peacock, this is in Lost Lagoon, and this is Petal Pink, and this is Flirty Flamingo. And I don't know that I'm going to need all these, but we have them. What I usually like to do is start with the big triangles. You can do it, this is a really huge triangle. You could do them like there, and then I have stamped here. You could do just one triangle. You could put it wherever. These leaves seem to be wanting to go this way. Or you could put it up like that. And then of course there is always the flip side. That looks really good together, as does that. So at the moment, we're just gonna do this. And then on this one, I think I really like that. I think we'll do it this way. We may change our mind. And then here, for the moment, we're gonna do it there. And then a lot of it is just what looks good together kind of a thing. And you know, there is just really no rhyme or reason, or no bad way, I should say. Not sure about that. So let's try that on another one. Let's see. That's not looking the greatest on there. Let's try it on this one. See, you just play a lot. Now, I kind of like that. And okay, I told you we did not have a firm plan for how we were going to lay out these cards, and you're seeing it right now. So I think what we're gonna do is this. You could also put the little piece over there if you wanted to. I think we'll do it like this, like that. Can we tell which one of the papers is apparently my favorite? Yes. Now, we could also, on this one over here, we need to get you out of the way. We could do it like this. We could do it like that. We could, I'm telling you, I'm a little stressed right now because I usually have it all thought out, so you all don't have to watch me struggle. okay, that's not awful. It's very muted. All right, we're gonna leave that one. We're gonna say that we like that one right there. I'm not completely sure I like this one here because I think it's the Flirty Flamingo cardstock. I'm just not sure about that. So let's try this over on Petal Pink. But then, oh, hey, we could kind of do the opposite of this card here. And I don't think the Flirty Flamingo is going to work, so I think we're going to go with this. Now, what we can do to change this up a little bit, have the smaller little 1/2 inch over here, and then we can bring this right there. And if we bump them all together like that, there'll be a little bit of a border. Okay, so I think we'll stick with that. We're not going to use the Flirty Flamingo. So, but on here, I think this looks kind of good. Maybe we should do, nope. I'm thinking that we just, the struggle, y'all, the struggle. All right, this, I'm kind of thinking, yes. Now, I need to go and get one more punch because I was not fully sure how I was going to lay it out. Go ahead and look very briefly at this, and I'll be right back. I'm almost back, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm just thinking with this particular one, our double oval punch would be better versus the 2 3/8. So now that we have our plan, yay, we have a plan. We're gonna put this one to the side and that one. Let's start with these guys. Now, we could certainly go ahead and do a layer underneath, which would not be awful. This would provide a very clean look. And then we could go ahead and take, I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend sentiment out of here. And we could stamp it on the diagonal, adds a little whimsy to it. So why don't we do that with that one? And then, I think we're probably gonna have to do the same thing on this one, only because this cardstock is dark and I don't have my craft white paint with me, or ink with me. And I think it would be pretty hard to see anything that we would stamp on there. So let's do that. So we've got 2 done. However, let's use a different sentiment from here. Oh, sometimes the red rubber sticks. The sticky label. How about we do I Like You? Love that little font there. All right, so then let's come over here, and I think for these, I think what we're gonna do is some stamping on the background of, I think it would be too much if we brought in the little splatter stamp because we're using that paper for the splatter. How about we go ahead and stamp in the background this flower also in Petal Pink. So hey, look, we've got a plan coming together, y'all. That is like awesome. And then on this one, I think we're kind of going to do, how about on this one we do the splatters, but we do it in the Lost Lagoon. And then on this one, how about we do the flower again, but in the Pretty Peacock. So we have got some stamping to do now that we actually have our plan. I'm telling you, this is a little stressful for me because I usually have a plan. I'm not struggling like this. Let's go ahead and get our easy cards done, and we can move on from there. If I had a, oh, it's too big of a block, but it is what it is. All right. And we don't need that one yet. So we're gonna go ahead and glue these onto our white cardstock base. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment. And, all right, so we wanted it this way, and then we wanted it this way. Like, we could do either way. How about we do it that way? Instead of being all matchy-matchy with our other card, we'll just do that. And these card bases, the white ones, they were cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Now, I do tend to like the liquid glue, especially when I'm doing this, because there have been a number of times where I have had to gently maneuver the paper that I am gluing down because I did not get it lined up quite perfect. All right, so there's, oh, let's go ahead and stamp. We should always stamp before we adhere it down. I'm using our pretty peacock. Hopefully I did not get too much ink on there. All right, couldn't be happier that you're my friend. So sweet. And I have picked out, I think, 3 different options for our bling. All right, now while we're here, let's go ahead and get a stamp out, and we're going to go ahead and bring back in our scrap paper real quick. I'm already creating a hot mess over here, and we're just going to just add a little bit of splatter down at the bottom, nothing major. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and put this on the inside. Oops, I went totally off my cardstock. All right, so one card is done. And I think once we put some bling on there, that is going to be really pretty. Okay, next one. We're doing the same thing. We're gluing these. And you know, I just realized, and this is the quilter in me coming out, that if we had, after we had made our first cut on the diagonal of this 4x4, if we had then gone ahead and cut the other way, we would have had 4 quarter triangles, and we could have made all sorts of different design layouts. That would have been interesting. I think the next time I do this, I'm definitely going to try that. So now we wanted to do the I like you. And I think for the inside, we will also still go ahead and do the splatter. As a matter of fact, why don't we go ahead and get out our paper now and do that. So bring in your scrap paper, Michelle, otherwise you're gonna make a mess, because that's what we do. All right. Do you see why I just love the one sheet wonders and the splatter stamps? They're just so useful. So very useful. All right, let's go ahead and add this onto the front. this in the inside. I never thought in the beginning of when I started making cards that I would like the liquid glue more than the regular, but here we are. Let's go ahead and clean off our stamps because I think we're going to need to use those blocks again. Love our chamois, just so good. Get our stamps back in there. You know what, I think we're going to keep that splatter because didn't we say that on this particular card here we were going to do some splattering in the background? I think that's what we said. Y'all need to help remind me because I don't remember what we said. So that we're going to go with that's what we said. So because this is the same color, it is just gonna be just add a little bit in the background and it'll be kind of cool. And you kind of want to try to twist your stamp multiple different ways. Now we might, this is the one where we're probably going to need to bring in the double oval punch. And you see, I was able to get multiple stamps out of that because I obviously have a little too much ink on that. Just a little bit, just a little bit. All right, so here we could overlap them if we wanted. Now, that was a piece of white cardstock. Does everybody not have a baggie like this of white cardstock? Please tell me I am not the only one. From cutting paper for insides, I have all these little strips. And yes, I do use them. I do. So, let's see. Hello looks pretty good. Hooray, it's your day. Will that one fit? I think hooray, that's your day. I think that'll be a good one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to punch it out first and then stamp it. And we're going to stamp it in the Pretty Peacock. I don't think I have used this much of Pretty Peacock since it was reintroduced in our new catalog in May. All right, so here we are going to put some glue and we're just going to put them there. Now, what's really cool and what I have done before is I have taken 4 sheets of coordinating DSP and the cards that you can create. It's just wow, there's just so many options. I literally just had my dimensionals. Here they are. Because you know, we need to have some dimensionals. What is life without dimensionals, y'all? I'm not sure. And I seem to be going through a lot of them right now. All right, so we'll put this up. Now you could bring in any punch, you could bring in dies to help, you know, do that. And what are we gonna do on the inside? Yes, we're going to do the splatter. Just because I really think, oh, did you see that? I kind of have a double splatter there, so I'm gonna turn over my card. I'm gonna be careful in how I stamp it so that it's not causing me double vision. And then we're going to glue it. See, this is pretty quick and easy. And because every package of Designer Series paper always tells you the colors that coordinate, you can just go to your cardstock and pick out which ones coordinate. Now, I'm closing up this Pretty Peacock because we definitely do not need that at the moment. And let's see. No. How about I clean that stamp before it ruins a card. That would be good. See, do as I say, don't do as I do. Because that would have been awful. Let's clean this one while we're here. We might use those sentiments again, I'm not sure, but at least now we won't have the possible oops. All right, so on this one, I thought we were going to maybe do stamp the flower as the background in our Lost Lagoon. Again, random, turn it around. You could also try to do the second generation stamping where you don't re-ink it. A little bit in there. Okay, clean our stamp because we will use a different color on our last card. Oh, what did I not do? I should have gone ahead and stamped a flower or two in here. Oh, goodness, that's such a pretty color. Now let's clean our stamp. My desk got really messy really quick. So we are going to go ahead and do it like this. Was that how we were going to do it? And I think the double oval punch would work on this one also. And how about we do hello? If I was a piece of paper that I just had, there you are. Go ahead and, you know, it stresses me out when I feel like I am a hot mess in a video for y'all. Really stresses me out. It's like, no. Okay. And then, yes, you know what's coming. Even though we're not there yet, I'm just going to put them on. Don't know that I needed 3, but that's what I got. So, let's go ahead and add these to our card. We could also do it like this, or we could do it, come on, I have glue on my finger. We could do it like that, but our leaves are kind of going the wrong way. So that's why we're not. Now, if our leaves were not going that direction, or if there was another piece of paper, then we could have used that slightly different layout, like we are going to use in our other card. So if you have a card that you have made that you're just not overly happy with, like some of the cards I showed you when we started, do you still keep them? Do you use them? Do you throw them out? What do you do? Because I know some people would say, well, you know what, I'm not liking it, so I am just going to go ahead and throw that out. But I try to really use every card that I possibly can. I try not to throw them out, if at all possible. So now we're going to bring in our our petal pink. It's right there. Right there. Can't even think of the word. And let's go ahead and stamp the inside. You could come up with different designs. You could do different things on the inside. Sometimes it just makes sense to kind of keep it very similar. I mean, you're not going to send the same card to the same person you know? And most people I know are very happy when they receive a home handmade card. They don't look to see whether or not it's perfect or anything like that. They're just happy to have received happy mail instead of, you know, a bill. So I think my favorite colors that we've used are the Pretty Peacock, the dark one, and the, ooh, that would be pretty right there. And the, Petal Pink. So on this one, I think what we'll do is we'll use it like this, not have it be all matchy-matchy. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring back in, yes, our double oval punch, because I think it'll just look pretty. I just like the scalloped part, edges of it. Now, what are we going to say? Hooray, it's your day. Yeah, let's do that one. We're going to stamp that in our Petal Pink. And then we will be done, and we can put on the favorite part of the card over here at Whimsy and Bling, the bling. So we do not need that anymore. Always close up the ink because you do not want your fingers getting into the ink. Ask me how I know. Yes, now this piece does not go all the way to the bottom, and that is fine. Now, if you had done a piece of white cardstock as a layer. Uh-oh, I need to move that over. See, that's the benefit of green glue, y'all, right there. You can move it over. You don't have a long period of time, but you can move it over. All right. And it's not perfectly straight, but that's going to be okay. That is just going to be okay. And there, we get it in there. Do our dimensionals, and then we're at the bling. The bling. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it where I kind of don't like the way it looks. So now let's get that out of the way. Let's find our bling options. And again, wasn't really sure which ones I wanted to use. We have our Standby Iridescent Pearl Basics, which I think goes with just about anything, which would honestly look really good on these cards, I think. But then we also have these iridescent rhinestones, and I'm like, well, we might need to bling it up a little bit. So how about on this one that we just finished, we bling it up a little bit. And let's see, right there, and oop, did I take it off? I don't think I did. And there. So there's one done. And let's see, how about we just do the pearl, the really blingy bling bling on all of them, you know, because who doesn't like some bling, y'all? I know I do. Do you struggle like I do to go, where should I put it? I know. See here, I'm struggling. I don't know where to put it. Just don't know where to put it. Now, on these, I think maybe doing two of the big ones right there. Now, and then there. All right, and I think here also we should use the big ones. and then a smaller one right there. So there you have it, my favorite One Sheet Wonder layout. One Sheet Wonders are by far my favorite way to make cards, and they're quick. If you have a lot of designer series paper and you need to make cards quick, enter the One Sheet Wonders. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I do apologize for being like a hot mess without it having been all planned and stuff like that. But you know, sometimes people need to see that, because this is real life crafting, and this is how it happens a lot of times. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, please. I would really appreciate it. It helps my business grow. Like the video, especially if you found tips in here that you like, or you just like the hot mess that I was. Leave me a comment. Tell me whether or not you like One Sheet Wonders. Have you made them? Do you like making them? Do you have another One Sheet Wonder design that you really go to when you need to? And also, it would be great if you shared this video with your friends and family. That would also really help my channel grow. Until next time, remember, be whimsy and add bling. Bye, y'all.